Good morning. Monday Morning Motivation is here, and we have missed you guys because we were gone for that little holiday excursion time. So
It was weird.
yeah,
We definitely missed you guys.
yeah, it was very weird. It feels a little odd to be doing it this morning.
Yeah.
I'm kind of out of the habit.
We're out
So
of practice with it, but hopefully you
yeah,
guys had a wonderful Christmas and doing something fun to celebrate New Year's. This is the last motivational Monday of 2024. How
yep,
crazy is that?
yep. It's gonna be a really good one. I think we have some cool stuff to talk about. You guys will see the title of this video is Your Success is Your Perspective. Looking forward. And we thought this would be a really cool topic. Both of us have some personal experience to share with this concept today. And just as we're getting ready to go into the new year, thought it would be a really good thing to just be able to try to start everything off right. So
Absolutely.
we got some really cool stuff to tell you guys about. It's going to be really good. So let's see who's here. We've got Mr. Carey is here, says
Hey,
pulling
Carey.
the boat up to the live stream. Good to see you, Carey. Appreciate you being here. And he did say I hit the like button a trillion times plus one. So
thank ya.
if you guys can do that for us, hit that thumbs up. We appreciate that. And John is here, says, hey, I made it on time. Good to see you, John.
Hey, John.
You were up and at 'em, my friend. We love it.
Yeah.
Saying hello to Carrie. And of course, Lynn is here because
Hi, Lynn.
what would a live stream be without Lynn?
There would be no live stream.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. There probably wouldn't be a Chris Cooking Nashville without Lynn because I
No.
think at the very beginning of this channel, it was you, my parents, and Lynn watching my videos.
I feel like the party doesn't start till Lynn's on the live stream.
That's right.
Then it gets
The
going.
party don't
Yeah.
start till Lynn walks in.
Exactly.
She says, hi, Chris and Ash. I missed you. I guess I'm just used to seeing you 12 times a week, and then I didn't. Glad you had time off for family and rest. Happy Motivation Monday. Well, thank you, Lynn. We're glad to see you.
Yeah.
Very happy you are here. And, of course, Auntie is in the house. Good
Hi,
morning,
Auntie.
Chris and Ash, Lynn, John, and Carrie. It's good to see you, Annie. We hope you are feeling better.
Yes.
I know you've got
Healing.
some healing stuff going on, and I know there are, I believe, doctor elements of all of that, and hopefully you're getting news of things you can continue to do to improve and
Yeah.
recover. So if we can do anything, you let us know. We're here for you.
Been praying for you.
Brenda Foley is here. Hi, Brenda. Hello,
Brenda.
family from Kentucky.
Hello.
And Maritza is here. Good morning, Rockstar.
Hey, Maritza.
And let's see, we have, of course, Richard Williams here. Good morning, neighbors from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Good morning to you, neighbor.
Hey, Richard.
Auntie says, still at work, on the cell, slow typing. Well, that's okay. You type as slow as you want. We ain't going anywhere.
That's right.
Stephen Stones is here, says, good morning, all, from Corpus Christi. Good to see you, Stephen. We sure appreciate you, sir.
Steven's awesome.
Steven is awesome. Steven is actually also a member in the new private group, and there are a number of people who are members, but he is very active in that private group and like comments on
awesome.
stuff and tells us about things. He's a great example of why that group exists because we can all be there as a community and support each other. And if you guys want to interact with Steven, that is a great place. I have linked that private community in the description box.
Yeah.
So if you
I'm
guys
having so much fun
wanna
just
come see
getting
us.
to be a part of it and like to go read people's stories.
It's
where it's
fantastic.
like maybe I knew your YouTube, handle, but it's like now I know your name and just like, hearing your story, like how
Yeah.
you came to find Keto Carnivore or tips and tricks where it's like, well, I never thought about that.
And a really good example of why I think this is such a cool thing. So there was a guy, I haven't even told you about this yet.
Oh.
So there was a guy named Matt who has joined the private community. And yesterday, he was in a bit of a pickle because it is his son's 5th birthday. And they are trying to raise their son with a proper human diet. And so
Okay.
he's like, hey, my wife last minute said, I need you to figure out how to make a keto cake or something like that. What can we do? And he came looking for advice in the group. I believe Stephen Stone might have actually given him a couple of ideas, but I linked my Keto Chow roll cake, the one that I did,
Yeah.
the Neapolitan cake, and I
Right.
said you can do this with any flavor. You don't have to use Keto Chow. You can use other flavored protein powders or even unflavored protein powder, and then add cocoa powder or add your own flavoring, whatever you want. And I said, just follow the recipe. It's right here. And so I did. And he watched that video and I gave him some tips on the filling and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And he messaged back in the private group last night and he said, Chris, total success. You rock. Thank you so
Nice.
much. And so he was able to make a cake last
Yeah.
minute because I try to prioritize keeping an eye on that group on a daily basis so I can try to help people. That's why it exists.
That's awesome.
And you guys can all interact and help each other. So if you guys don't know about that, that's linked below, and it's just a fun way for us to all be a community and help each other out. We would love to see you in there. So thank you guys so much for the support you have already shown us, and we hope to see more of you in there very soon.
Yeah.
Robert Hanna is here, says good morning. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning.
Maritza says, I'm back from Texas. Very good.
Welcome back.
Tanya is here, says, hello, good morning, Chris, Ash, and Mel. Glad to see you back, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
To you.
Yeah.
And let's see. Carrie says, why was the bacon all in laughs? The eggs were cracking yolks. That's right.
Like it.
Deb is here. Deb Riley.
Hi,
Hello,
Deb.
Deb. Good to see you.
Hope you're doing good.
Here's to Our Health is here. Says, great to see you both. Trust you had a great Christmas holiday. We did.
We had a wonderful Christmas.
We did. We had time with family and good food. And I'll be honest, I was not a perfect keto carnivore person during Christmas.
We're not
but,
perfect.
You know, we're not perfect. And listen, that was an intentional choice on my part. I don't promote anyone else do that. I'm just telling you I chose to do that because I'm never going to lie to you guys about that. And what did we have after we got through all of the holiday stuff? We went back to, we had eggs yesterday.
We had eggs, and then
last night you had a salad along with a pork tenderloin. I had pork tenderloin and eggs.
And I'll tell you what, it was delicious.
Yeah.
And my body was like, girl, you better put some protein in me.
Yep.
That's what,
Yep.
Yeah.
And this might be a little TMI, but I was up 4 times peeing in the middle of the night because my body is running off the water that it retained from, some of the holiday treats that I had.
I don't think that's too much TMI. I think it's,
I
feel like we should applaud people for that because it means your body's working, it's running stuff off. It's good.
It's taking the inflammation down and everything. Ash was actually looking at my face this morning, and she said the bit of puffiness that you had in your face from the things you'd eaten is going back away. So,
we had such a great Christmas though, being around family and friends, and it was just really wonderful. And we hope that all of you had a wonderful Christmas as well.
Absolutely. Did any of you guys have anything really special or fun that you would like to tell us about that happened during Christmas? Like, tell us about it or tell us what you guys did. Put it in the comments. I'd love to see.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Jan is here, says, woohoo, my first live. Good morning from South Carolina. Well, hi, Jan. It is so good to see you. I think Jan is in the private group as well.
That's awesome.
So
welcome.
Good to see you, Jan. So glad you are here. John says success is simple. Every day away from carbs is a successful day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? We're going to talk about it today, but if you have a day where you're not away from carbs and it's not as successful, you get right back on the horse and you just keep going and you keep going towards success. Patricia's here, says Grandma's here. How's Mel?
Oh, the baby.
Yeah.
She's actually behind us. You probably can see a little bit of her taking a nap, but she's doing A-okay.
Yep.
You can probably share more if you want.
Yeah, I shared it in the private group and Patreon and different things, but we ended up taking her to the vet. She was supposed to have a 6-month checkup. We ended up going just a few days early with her because she was having some odd symptoms when she was going potty. Like, it looked like maybe there might have been a little blood.
It was very weird,
It was kind of odd, and she was acting a little weird, and so we took her to the vet because we were like, it might not be anything. She may have just eaten something that bothered her, but we weren't sure, and she was just kind of just acting a little strange. So we took her, and it turned out she had a very mild case of pancreatitis, which sounds a lot scarier than it really is. In people, pancreatitis, I think, is a real big issue.
Right.
That hospitalizes you. With dogs, it can get to that point, but it's also a lot more common, it seems, in dogs, specifically certain breeds. Golden Retrievers are one. And it was a very mild case. It's an infection. And the vet, they talked about it. They said, we don't know what causes it. Like, there's no real known cause for pancreatitis. It just kind of happens in dogs. But there are things that exacerbate it, and so diet or stress or different things can be factors. And we think that maybe she might have had pancreatitis for a long time.
Yeah.
But because her diet is so good, because we are so intentional about cooking her food and keeping her on a dog-appropriate diet to the best of our abilities, we got to be careful. We've talked about this. We give her some rice because if we change it too quickly, she gets tummy upset. But that could also be part of this pancreatitis thing we've been dealing with. Maybe we didn't know.
Yeah, well, and if you look up the ways that you can actually treat it naturally without drugs and prescriptions, and even the vet was saying this, basically foods like whole foods, especially like poultry, which is most of what her dog food is meats, chicken, turkey, it's veggies, and then eggs. And then they actually said that rice is actually something that can really help the symptoms. So we're thinking, I bet she's had this for a long time, and that's why if she got stressed or something, it would flare up. And so, but the rice in there, I guess, has kind of been helping her tummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very mild case. They gave her some medicine, and they said, this should take care of it. She should be good to go.
Yeah. So we'll see. She's on a bunch of medicine right now, trying to get the infection cleared up. But we'll keep you guys posted. Yeah. But we're kind of seeing what happens. But I think once she goes through the medicine, it sounds like she, will have that problem fixed and be a very happy, healthier dog.
Might be able to move even further in the direction of getting her off the rice and eventually getting her on a keto or even carnivore type dog appropriate diet.
Well, and we're kind of using her because like you were saying in the private group, it's like the first question the vet asked was like, what's her diet like? And it's like, well, that's really different, isn't it?
Yep. It's amazing. We have problems. We go to the doctor and they want to know what medications we're on. They want to talk about our genetics. They want to come up with all of these excuses that may be causing problems, and then they want to give us another medicine to fix it.
Yeah.
And it's like you go to the vet and the very first thing they do is, well, what's the dog eating? Because if you don't give them the right diet, this is going to cause these things or make it worse. We may use medicine to intervene, but then you need to fix their diet, and that's going to fix the problem permanently. So why, as a vet, do they do that? And then as doctors, we can't do that with people.
And we're honestly just like in a stage of experiment. And as much as it, just really sucks that poor Mel had to go through all that. And, clearly we had to rush her to the vet and all this. But one, she's doing so much better. But, two, I think now that we have this knowledge and we know what's going on, I think now we're better able to treat her. I also think it's a really good reminder about... like, for example, like, we wanted to have her be on, like, strict carnivore, like, for years, but we just never could.
Yeah.
And it was like, we would, we've taken rice slowly out and out of things, but it was like, people were like, just don't give her the rice. And it's like, yeah, I get that. Like, I would love that too, but look at what happens.
Right.
So I think it's just important to kind of know that, like, as your body's healing, there may be certain things where it's like, man, I can't give this up because this, and that's okay. Show grace. But
absolutely.
But I think Mel's doing a-okay. She's very cuddly.
Yep. Well, and I think the fact that, this was a pretty mild case of this, the vet said, and because we've been feeding her the way that we have, this has been almost a non-issue. And it was just the rare occasion where she'd have a little bit of a symptom, but then it would go away again and she'd be totally fine. Which is why we never recognized it as something weird that we needed to go to the vet for. And the vet never saw this before.
Right. And they were saying too that because they ended up doing a whole exam and all the blood work and everything, and they said that she's incredibly healthy. The vet was like, at first, like, they'd call us like 4 or 5 times. It's like, well, I don't get it. Like, her heart is great and her lungs are great and her blood works perfect.
Her electrolytes are perfectly balanced and her body weight is perfect. And I mean, like, everything about this dog is perfect.
But I guess you kind of don't know if your dog has it unless they actually do the test for it.
Yeah.
And when they did do the test, it was like a mild positive.
Yep. They ruled out everything else. And the vet finally called us after they did this test. They called us and asked if it was okay to do the test and if we would pay for it. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. So they did the test and the vet called us back and she said, well, we did get a very mild positive. So she does have a very mild case of pancreatitis. That's probably what's causing all these issues. And she was like, but no big deal. We're just going to give her some meds and she'll be fine and it'll take care of it, And so, like, a lot of the symptoms dogs have when they have this are much more severe than anything Mel has been having. And there's a lot of ways that dogs act strange, which is how you figure out they've got this. And then that's when you go to the vet and then they take care of it. But this seems to be very, very mild.
And
so
rightfully so because of her diet and just the way that she's, been brought up. So.
Absolutely.
But don't worry, guys. Mel's a-okay.
Yep, she's doing good. She's doing good. Once she gets through her round of antibiotics and everything, I'm sure she'll be just fine. We also have they gave her a probiotic to fix her gut because she is taking antibiotics. So isn't that funny? It's like, oh, you're going to mess up your gut biome in the dog, and that's an important thing, so we're going to give you a probiotic. And yet we put ourselves on all this medication and eat all this junk that kills our gut biome as humans.
And how many people take a probiotic?
No one ever talks about this. And there are cheap probiotics out there for humans that don't work. And then there's good probiotics that might help a little bit, but then if you just fix your diet, your gut biome can fix itself and it will grow properly. And we know how important the gut biome is in dogs, so why do we not understand that about humans?
It's pretty fascinating. Definitely eye-opening.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Abby is here. Good morning from California. Good morning.
My fellow Californian.
Yep. Addicted to Antlers is here. Says good morning.
Hey.
Let's see. Oh, there's my mom. Mom and dad are here. Hello, everyone. I believe my parents are driving today, so.
Yeah.
And oh, there is Margaret Chase. She's here. She was also asking about Mel. Everyone loves the dog. Everybody loves the dog.
The dog is where it's at.
Zoltastis Toby. I have no idea if I'm saying that properly or not.
Hopefully
Morning from Knoxville.
Toby. Hey, neighbor. They're not too far.
Yeah, you're not too far from us at all. Let's see. Here's to our health. Says, would you link the keto chow cake recipe? I have 3 birthdays coming up soon. Yes. If one of our moderators is in here and can link that, fantastic. And if not, let me know.
And I can probably actually do it.
Yeah, Ash might be able to. Ash might be able to find it too. John says keto chow based cake, cookies, and brownies are awesome. Yes, they definitely are.
I think keto chow based anything is delicious.
Yes. There is Donna, CNC female, is here. Good
Hi,
morning. Carrie says, I'm dealing with eating eggs and cutty salami. I found that Oscar Mayer salami has less than 1 gram of carbs. That's great.
Oh, that's super
awesome.
cool.
When you find the stuff that works for you, that's awesome. John says, I was bad for Christmas, but back on track. Now, John, remember, you're not bad. You just made choices that are not the optimal health choice for your body, but it doesn't affect whether you're a bad or a good person.
Yeah.
There's no morality in your food choice within the context of at least carbs. I mean, you choose to eat a fellow human being, there might be an issue there. But if you're eating things from the grocery store, that's not a morality issue.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we don't promote cannibalism on this channel, so in case you guys didn't know.
There you go.
Mary is here, says, surprised myself when I fell in the ditch on Christmas, but I'm right back on track. All is good.
Good.
Mary, that's fantastic. When you have these things happen, right? When you're like, hey, I sort of had these things, but I'm right back to it. Great. I'm not in any way promoting anyone go have treats and cheats and eat all this stuff. If you stick to keto and carnivore the entire time, that's the best thing you can do, for sure. It's just scientific. However, if you do go off track, the focus needs to be on getting back on, and that's where we need to put our focus. We don't focus on the fact we've fallen, and we don't promote falling, and we don't keep going over and over and over falling. But if we do that and then we go right back on track, we focus on the being back on track part and we celebrate it just like you're doing right now.
That's awesome.
And that is fantastic. So congrats, Mary, for being right back on track. My mom says our special thing for Christmas was visiting with our son and daughter-in-law.
Aw, well, we loved having you guys.
Amy is here, says hi everyone.
What's up, girl?
CNC female says, I strive for 0 carb perfection, but I'm human and Victor's fudge got me, along with his no-bake pumpkin cheesecake. Can't eat just one of either thing, so it's his fault. That's my story.
Blame Victor.
That's right.
That's funny.
That's right. I don't think Victor's in the chat, so we'll just blame him for all
he's
problems
not here
today.
Watch him show up, though, in like 10 minutes.
That's right.
Oh, you're
That's right,
buddy.
If you guys don't subscribe to Victor at Southern Keto, he's got some amazing recipes. You should go over and find Victor for sure. He's a great dude. Rockin' Keto Amy popped over and said, hi, sorry, I realized I joined from Facebook, not YouTube. Well, that's all right, Amy. We're just glad you're here.
Yeah.
Auntie says, for these last days after Christmas, I made savory cheesecake and keto chow sausage rolls. My biggest goal after these last 2 months is no more keto snacks. Now I can stand longer to cook again. That's awesome.
Great. Good for
That's
you.
a fantastic. See, and this is a realistic goal, right? Like, so Auntie's been having the keto snacks, and she's like, okay, I want to get off of this. Well, instead of saying, I'm going to go meat, salt, water, and I'm going to add a 5-mile walk every day, like, one step at a time, especially when you're recovering from something like she is, and I can now stand to cook, so I'm going to try to get off the keto snacks and just go back to cooking meals. That's a great step. And then when you achieve that, then you make the next one. And you just keep looking forward to the next thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Barbara's here, says good morning. Good morning, Barbara.
Hello.
And there is Mr. Sean. He's a member of our private community as well. Good to see you, my brother.
Hey, Sean. Hope you guys are doing well.
Let's see. Brenda says, I don't see ancestral dogs eating rice, just like people's doctors thinking it may be a mistake. So, Brenda, I understand what you're saying, and I don't see ancestral dogs eating rice. I do see my dog having severe diarrhea if I take it out of her diet too fast. So, I understand what you're saying, but we also have to approach these things with nuance and common sense. Also, Mel is not genetically an ancestral dog. Mel is genetically a golden retriever that has been selectively bred for the last 100 years. So they don't operate quite the same way as ancestral dogs. So I don't think rice is good for her, but it is a tool to get her to where she needs to be. And just like medicine is not ancestrally appropriate for humans, but sometimes we do need it for medical intervention because we can do things like that, rice is a tool that we can use as intervention with Mel so that we can actually sleep through the night and she doesn't end up with diarrhea on a daily basis.
Yeah. And eventually we're using it as a tool to get her where she needs to be, but clearly she's had a health issue for years that we just found out about. So
right.
It's good. It's good though. It's good.
Yep. Kenneth is here. Hello from Stacy and Ken from Easy Peasy Keto. Stacy is cooking in the kitchen.
Aw, that's awesome.
Stacy and Ken, it is so good to see you guys,
Yeah.
and that sounds like fun.
Yes.
Let's see. Auntie says, so good to hear Mel is doing better. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Patricia says, thanks for the info. Rosie's a golden doodle, sensitive stomach. I use rice also. Yeah, and this is a thing genetically, and this kind of goes back to that thing of you have to realize golden doodles, golden retrievers, these kinds of dogs, these are not ancestral wild dogs.
Mm-hmm.
These have been selectively bred. Now, I'm not saying rice is good for them, but they are not genetically the same thing as the ancestral dogs that never ate rice. And although rice may not be ideal, it may be better than some of the severe issues that they go through. And especially dogs have stomach issues, like golden retrievers or golden doodles. Like they can have severe stomach issues, and you have to be careful about what you do with them. So, you have to figure out what works best for each individual dog, the same way each person has to do their N=1 experiment and figure out what version of a proper human diet makes them feel best.
And I think just like us, like when we first got Mel, she was on a dog kibble, which was apparently super healthy and great, and turns out it sure wasn't. But she was on that for the first 3 years of her life.
Yeah.
Just like we were on a standard American diet. So having tools where you can eventually just go, closer and closer to, lower carb, pure carnivore, same kind of concept. I think just for puppy dogs.
Yep. Lynn makes a great point. You did the best you could with such a severe injury, Shauna, but I'm looking forward to seeing your yummy meals again. You're getting there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You do the best you can with what you've got. And anytime we take this is what I do, you should do it too. Anytime we take that approach to looking at how someone is handling their health, everything starts to fall apart.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way. We live in a human world full of imperfect people. It just doesn't work that way. So, I think Shauna is doing fantastic, it sounds like. And
awesome.
She's one step at a time working towards what she needs to do.
Been a trooper for sure.
Absolutely. Auntie says, Lynn, I'm going to try that sausage roll keto chow recipe with keto chow beef soup and ground beef. So easy. It sounds great.
Good. It sounds really good.
Michelle is here. Good morning from Colorado Springs.
Hey,
hello, Michelle. Oh, and my mother-in-law is in the house.
There's my mom.
There's Care. Good morning, Care. Good to see you.
Hi, Mom.
Donna says, I've been thinking of trying an egg fast, but not sure what it really entails. Anita Breeze does them all the time, but I get so confused about it. I think a lot of these fasts and these different kinds of things, if you want to use them as tools to do this stuff, I think they can be really helpful. I think there's also a tendency amongst people online to think there's one right way to do an egg fast, and if you don't do it that way, it's not going to work. Now, there may be a protocol recommended by a doctor or someone who is an expert in doing this or someone who does it regularly, whatever. But I think it's recommendations, right?
Sure.
So if you're going to do an egg fast, I think the majority of what you eat is eggs for whatever period of time you're trying to do it. And if you do something that's eggs and maybe it has a little bit of cheese added to it, is that okay? Well, that's up to you. Do you do eggs and then add in sardines? I know Anita a lot of times adds sardines in when she does different fasts because she loves sardines and she feels really good when she adds in sardines. So I think she's played around with it some. I'll have to message her and ask her about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm sure she would be more than happy to share information.
But yeah, Donna, sure. I think that's cool though. If you want to try it and report back to us what your findings are and how it went for you, I think that would be super cool. And I think the confusion just comes from the fact that so many different people present their way of doing it as the one right way of doing it, and you don't really know what any of it is. Or they're not clear about what it is they're doing. They just say an egg fast, and then it's like they don't really give you the details.
What does that mean? Yeah.
it can be tough to figure out. So Your mom says, so glad my fur grandbaby is going to be okay.
Yes.
Yes, me too. She's costing me a lot of money, but yeah.
Yep.
Randy is here. Randy
Randy.
Kanoy. Good morning, Chris and Ash. Rand, it is so good to see you, my brother. I know that you guys have been so busy with that kitchen and a bunch of different things, but we are so glad to see you back on a live stream, my friend.
Say hello to Eva and Riley for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for anyone looking for it, there's Ash Taylor dropping in that cake recipe for you.
Over here dropping in links, guys.
Yep, I have several of them too. I did mini bunt cakes.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Neapolitan 3 flavor with the roll with the cream filling.
That's what that one
which
is.
is this one that she shared. I also did a savory one that I did without keto chow. I did like a cream cheese filling that was savory with salmon.
That was actually really
that
good.
That was really, really good.
It was really good.
So there's options out there for you guys. So you can go watch that one, and then you can look for my others too, and you know, come up with different ideas. So. Margaret says, I cheated too on Christmas Eve. I ate sushi. Now, I did try to scrape out the rice, but that's pretty hard. I'm back on track now. Yeah. You can only do what you can do, and you know what? Some good sushi every now and then. It's pretty awesome. So
yeah.
Steven Stone says, my keto chow funnel cakes are the bomb.
They are the bomb.
Yeah,
They're
those are very,
very good.
Chris Bear and Miriam Bear, the founders of Keto Chow, actually did that recipe, and they posted about it and said, dude, these things are amazing. They loved it. So
they're so tasty.
Cool to get a shout out from the original Keto Chow folks that they liked the recipe using the Keto Chow. That was cool. Chris texted me and he's like, dude, look at this, I'm making your funnel cakes. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
Amy says, first day of work after a week of vacation, dealing with messes. Glad you guys are alive. I need some soothing voices while I work. Well, I will do my very best to speak in a soothing voice.
A calm voice.
A calm voice, and not be like one of those Dumb and Dumber. Try not to do any of that stuff for you.
Yeah. Well, gosh. Sorry you had to go back to work.
Yeah.
It's always the worst when you go back and there's just like a pile of messes. But
listen, there's a reason work is a 4-letter word, okay?
Yeah. You got it, though, Amy. You got it.
That's right. Reese's Cluttered Kitchen is here. I had a few treats, still having a couple through New Year's and January 2nd. I'll be back to sugar-free. Well, good for you.
There you go.
Let's see. John says, true, bad for me is over half a dark chocolate orange. So good.
Yep.
You know, and that's the thing. You find the balance of, you know, making this a realistic thing. And again, I don't in any way promote that you just go eat treats or cheats or whatever you want to call them. But if you do, there's a perspective to have on it, because you see people that do this and they beat themselves up and they go down this downward spiral, and it just turns into a lot bigger problem. And it's like, you know, if you can look at it and go, okay, that wasn't optimal. I'm still worth good health, and that's not making something that makes me a bad person. I'm going to get right back on what I need to do and continue forward, pretend that never happened, and try not to do it again. That's all you can do.
I think it was actually, I know we've had like a week or so off, but I think it was the last Motivational Monday we did. We talked about the analogy of basically a bug hitting your car windshield.
Yeah.
And like a cheat meal is essentially a bug. And so it's like if you're, you know, got your car well maintained and cleaned and it's good and it's running great, and then if you have a little cheat, you know, and it hits the windshield, are you going to wreck the car? Or are you just going to wipe that off the windshield and keep going? And so don't wreck your car over a bug.
That's right. Reese's Cluttered Kitchen, gotta go. Okay, I think we are back.
Are we back?
I think we are back.
Well, that was fun.
That was really interesting. So I'm gonna end up having to call AT&T because this has happened a few times now, where suddenly, randomly, our Wi-Fi just cuts off. And it was telling me there was like no signal, there was nothing going on.
Sometimes if someone hits like a pole or something like that, we notice like if there's a car accident close by, it does that. But that was really weird and random. So
yeah,
sorry,
unfortunately,
guys.
nearby we also, because of where we live, there's a couple of, but on various sides, this is a thoroughfare where there's some questionable people that live in certain parts of the city that tend to drive through a road that goes near our house, and there's a lot of accidents. We'll just put it that way. So if you guys can just let us know that you can see us and hear us, that we are truly indeed back. And try again.
Boom. All right, I think we're back.
Oh, telling you what, guys, ain't nothing too much more frustrating than your Wi-Fi not working. So if we disappear, if this kind of stuff happens, just hang out for a minute, and Ash can drop in the chat from her phone and let you guys know if something happens that we're not coming back. But I don't know what is going on with the Wi-Fi, but we're gonna have a talk with AT&T about that, because it's happened a few times now.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna pay for Wi-Fi, they need to make sure it actually works. So.
For sure.
Anyway, so let's see what's going on. Sunny is here. Says hi Chris and Ash. And Agster is here. Says love these guys. Well,
we
thank
love you. Very sweet.
Carol is here. Hi from the Florida Panhandle. Hello.
Hello.
John says, oh, my fishy pasta with shrimp noodles was a huge success, but the noodles were a bit like the overcooked ones found in canned soup, with a bit more egg. So, John, if your noodles are squishy, the more egg white powder will actually make it worse, because it absorbs moisture when you cook them. So, if you are wanting a firmer noodle, you actually need more meat, less egg white powder. You need enough egg white powder to bind it together. But if you want them firmer, you need more meat. That's why the chicken pasta that I made, not the shrimp version, but the later one, the chicken pasta, that's why it has a better texture, because a majority of that is made of meat. And that is sort of where that came from. So if you have too much egg white powder, you actually get more of a puffy noodle and the squishiness. So let's see. I don't know if that's Joanna or Jana. I'm not sure how I pronounce your name, so I apologize if I am pronouncing it totally wrong. But she says, good morning from Beaumont, Alberta.
Very cool. Good morning.
Yep, good to see you.
Yeah.
House of the Greater Dane says, I feed a raw diet. You have to keep it balanced with meat, bone, and organs. Bone adds calcium, phosphorus, prevents diarrhea, and too many organs causes diarrhea.
Good to know. And you have a beautiful dog. I seen your profile picture. Super, super pretty.
Jennifer says, definitely fell off the wagon during the holidays and paid the price. Felt bloated, stomach cramps, but have talked a couple of friends and family members into trying the carnivore lifestyle.
Oh,
amazing.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. Rock on for that.
Amazing.
Margaret says, thanks for the recipe, Ash.
No problem.
So Donna wants to know, has Ash tried strict carnivore again since the one a few months ago? If so, does she think it was easier this time? I'm going to let you answer that.
Well, thank you for asking. So we actually were going to share with you guys. Now, I haven't weighed myself after the holidays. We were just talking about we had a couple treats and stuff, so I'm sure I'm retaining water and stuff from the things that I had. But the week before Christmas, I actually stepped on a scale for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been experimenting with my diet and trying to figure out certain issues and kind of going through a whole thing, which is a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
But I actually lost 4 pounds the week before Christmas, which is the first time that I have lost weight in 8 months.
Yep.
So I broke an 8-month weight stall by kind of playing around with stuff on my diet and trying out some different things. And
it was not carnivore.
It was not carnivore.
Carnivore was not the solution.
No, but I've done a lot of different things. I've taken a lot of chemicals out of my daily life.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to use a lot of like perfumes and scented lotions and bath bombs and all this kind of stuff. So I've actually started going through our house and our medicine cabinet. I've changed my shampoo. I've changed my deodorant. I have changed so many things. So I did that. And then honestly, just kind of learning about my body and how it works as a woman, and just kind of figuring out some stuff. And yeah, so we don't want to go too much into it though, because I'm honestly still experimenting, and I'd love to do it for longer and then come back and tell you guys. But I think for me, it was just experimenting, like, well, where on the low carb spectrum does this work for me, and maybe what are some things my body needs. So I think honestly I was kind of weight stalled for a while because I was actually stressing my body hormonally out. And so I was able to fix some things though, and I feel better than I have in forever. But I was so happy to lose 4 pounds in a week after doing this. I mean, that's a good amount of weight for me to lose in a week. So I was pretty happy.
On the back end of guidance from one of Dr. Barry's coaches who understands female hormones really well as a doctor who is into women's health and how women's hormones work, all this different kind of stuff. Ash has done some things, and it's actually incorporating more carbs at certain times based on the monthly process that a woman's body goes through at certain times in their life. And it's actually understanding that and being intentional about it. And sometimes she's almost carnivore.
Oh, yeah.
And then other times she's absolutely not carnivore or anywhere close to it.
I basically can do carnivore and like fast a lot for 2 solid weeks and I'm fine. And then kind of the week before, my period would come, I basically then will have a little bit more carbs because my body needs glucose, which is something one of Dr. Barry's coaches was sharing with me. And if you don't, you actually stress your body out. So then I'll have more things like berries, more fruits, more veggies. So and I think too, if this is interesting at all to any of the ladies in the chat, or honestly even maybe some husbands that are like, I would like to know why my wife does this and that. Comment down below. But I think we're going to be I'm trying to experiment, learn as much as I can. But I think so far it's been a success with being able to lose weight and to feel just way more balanced and to feel good. My energy levels are great. But I think in the future we're going to talk more about this because maybe some of this information would help the other ladies and the husbands in the chat to kind of understand that from a female perspective. And for all of the guys in the chat, if there's a woman in your life who's going through these things and she's trying to figure out, the last thing you should ever do is go, well, you just need, you're a guy, shut up. Don't say anything. Don't act like you know. Just shut your mouth and let the woman figure out how her body works, because it's completely different than ours, and we have absolutely no right to tell a woman how, your body's doing blah, 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 blah. Even Dr. Barry doesn't do that. Yeah. Like, he knows medically all of the things that a woman's body is doing, and he'll tell you, well, medically, there's da-da-da-da-da.
And then he sits back and he goes, Nisha, do you want to tell them what it's actually like to be a woman, since I have no clue what this is like? Like, he's smart enough to know even he shouldn't be telling a woman what it's like to be a woman. So for all my guys out there, let's keep our mouths shut.
Great question, though. Thank you so much for that. That's
awesome. Tina says, I make my dog's food too. She has eggs for breakfast, chicken stew, chicken, carrots, peas, spinach, sweet potato or squash, brown rice for supper. She loves it, and vet said she's healthy. Yeah, it's very similar kind of what we do.
We got to feed the babies. I love it.
Jennifer says, have to check out Chris Cooking Nashville. Must recipes to try.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Brenda says, I made my hubby's favorite every year, pineapple upside down cake. Keep requesting that keto chow flavor. That would be a good one.
Brenda, that sounds good. Yeah. I love that.
Rand says, able to join the live stream while at the dentist's office. Eva is in with the dentist.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm sorry.
the
dentist is never any fun. I'm sorry she's doing that. But we're glad that you get to be here with us.
Yeah.
Lynn says, I don't have the right cheese yet, but I'm dying to make your potato chips, Chris. I really, really miss crunchy foods. Never thought I'd live to see a really good recipe for potato chips.
Lynn, let me tell you something. Those potato chips were the bomb.
Those are good.
They were so good. Like, amazing.
Yeah.
And we kept some after we filmed to test, like, could you refrigerate them, put them in the pantry?
Yep.
And they're actually good for, I feel like, what is that, a week?
Yeah, we had them for about a week. And I was like, honestly, if you make these potato chips and you're trying to keep them for longer than a week, I would probably say just go ahead and get rid of them, because you just never know what these products do over that amount of time. But you can have them in a zip top bag or like a airtight container or something for a week easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, also, speaking of crunchy recipes, you guys better tune in to the live stream tomorrow night, because we're going to be giving you a quick reveal on Saturday's recipe, which is going to be crispy taco shells.
I'm very happy, guys.
I
tried one this morning.
She's been asking for these, and a bunch of you guys have been asking for these for, a year or two.
Who doesn't
It's been
like
a
tacos?
long time. Well, tacos are great, but soft tortilla tacos are a completely different thing than crunchy tacos.
Crunchy tacos is where it's at.
Right, and having a carnivore crunchy taco that's not just brown cheese. I love cheese as much as the next person.
Sure.
But if I want a taco and I melt cheese into a circle and make it brown and then let it cool until it's crispy and go to eat it, it's not that it's not going to taste good. It's going to taste like cheese.
Yeah.
This doesn't taste like cheese.
No, it tastes like a taco shell.
Right.
Yummy. Super excited.
It's going to be fantastic.
So tomorrow night at 6 o'clock?
Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Central.
6 o'clock Central time for Backstage with Chris, the live cooking show we do. I'll be showing you guys a preview of these taco shells. And then on Saturday, our recipe will be those taco shells.
And they're good.
Yeah, it's going to be
I'm excited.
Good. It's going to be good. Sean says, work, the other bad four-letter word ending in K. Yep, that's correct.
That's funny.
Honestly, work bothers me a lot more than the other one most of the time. Let's see. Margaret Chase says, Chris and Ash, as a trained singer, I can tell you that you both have excellently supported speaking and singing voices. Well-supported voices are always great to listen to.
Oh, thank you, Margaret. Appreciate that.
Yeah. For people who don't know, we're professional musicians. Both of us, I have taken vocal lessons in the past. Ash currently takes vocal lessons from time to time still. And it's a whole process. So
it's all very interesting.
We appreciate that you notice that our voices are well supported. So
yeah.
Auntie says, I prefer the term off-plan to cheating or bad.
I agree.
Love it.
I love it.
Love it. Toby says, love funnel cakes. Don't know what Keto Chow is yet, but sounds like I got work to do now. Oh. Yeah, so Keto Chow, I have a link down below for a discount in the description box. You can go down there, click that link. It'll get you 10% off your order if you'd like to try it, which is super cool. But Keto Chow is a meal replacement protein shake that's meant for keto diets. But you can also use it in recipes, like any kind of a flavored protein powder.
Yeah.
And if you want to do fun keto treat type recipes, it's a great product to use for that because the flavors are fantastic. Chris and Miriam that run Keto Chow are wonderful people. We love them. They're very open and transparent about everything in their products. So you can decide if they work for you or not based on the ingredients because they'll tell you everything that's in there. And it's just a good quality product. It's full of proteins and vitamins and different things that are good for you. So it's like you can have something that tastes great, but also be getting really good nutritional benefit from it. And I use it for recipes. I'm an affiliate with them and have my link down below that you can get a discount.
They're awesome. They're such a great tool if you're on a keto diet.
Yeah.
They really are.
I don't promote a lot of products.
No.
That's just not a thing that I do. I don't really use a lot of products. I use Keto Chow very occasionally. She loves the like the shakes that you can make. Like if you just make it as a meal replacement protein shake, she loves those. So every now and then she'll have one of those, or every now and then I'll make a recipe with Keto Chow. But then Salty, which are their electrolytes, we have those every single day. It's my favorite electrolyte brand out there. So just a couple of things you can check out, Toby. Just go down to the description box, get yourself a discount on that if you want to try it.
Yeah, and report back. Let us know what you think, or if you have questions. But they're awesome.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions for Keto Chow about anything, you can go to their website, send them a message or an email. They'll get back to you and they'll tell you. Their customer service is great. They're just great people.
Great people, great products.
Love all of them. They're wonderful people. Janelle's here, says, just stopping in to say hi. Daughter's on her way over for a visit. Thumbs up, everyone. Well, Janelle, have fun with your daughter.
Enjoy your time,
Yes.
Awesome.
And Margaret Chase also says everyone hit the like button.
I don't know if we could do the thumbs up thing if it will.
That's right.
Read
Let's see.
it. Sometimes we get it to do it. Sometimes we don't.
Sometimes it'll see
Watch it do it like 5 minutes from now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Francine is here, says, good morning, Chris and Ash. Coming in a little late. What's going on with Mel? Well, she just had a little bit of a vet issue, not too big of a deal. She has a very mild case of a pancreatitis infection, but she's on medicine and just should be good to go. Just got to heal up. Though. So
she's taking a nap right behind us. She's enjoying the peace and quiet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's when we started to freeze.
Oh no.
Yeah. Jonah says, I was pretty good this year. Had a couple of shortbread cookies after being ketovore carnivore. It will be 30 months for me.
Aww.
I didn't bother eating anymore because I don't care for anything sweet. That's the thing. You really change over time your tastes and
taste
things.
buds.
Things really go very, very interestingly with your palate. Like you get to a point you don't want to. You don't want to have all that.
Yeah. It's and honestly, I think that really says something too, because I think it's like, we're kind of trained growing up that, these things are normal. And then it's like once you kind of start eating, low carb, somewhere wherever on the spectrum you are, keto, carnivore, it's like you do that for a while and you're like, yeah, this thing doesn't really taste very good to me anymore.
Yep.
So it honestly becomes easier and easier to over time just to not go off the wagon. So pretty great.
Jonah says, we have that all the time here in Alberta with TELUS. We switched to another carrier. Shaw never had another issue.
Well, that's good.
I wish we could switch to another carrier. I do not like AT&T, but unfortunately because we rent where we are, we only have one option.
Yeah.
It's the only internet we can get
and
here.
And usually they're really good. It's just real recently we've had the issue, but we'll call them and say, hey guys.
Yep.
Tell them we're trying to have a live stream party over here. And they're messing up our good time.
Yep.
Messing up the party.
Absolutely. Let's see. When we were frozen, Steven wanted to know if we were suffering from vegan cancellation.
It was the vegans that cut the lines.
That's right.
That's funny.
That's right. John says, speaking of fur babies, anyone have any suggestion how to deal with a dog with super dry skin?
Yes, John. My first question would be, of course, what's the dog's diet like? Like, are they on kibble? Kind of what's the deal? If they're on kibble, or if you make their food, just kind of depends. We have our dog food recipe video, which I can link down below, or someone else can if you want to check that out. Yep. When we started making Mel's food, it actually saved us a good amount of money versus buying kibble. But for the dry skin, honestly, if your dog can handle it, I would say eggs are a super good thing. A little bit of olive oil. Yep. Not too much because it may upset their tummy, but olive oil, eggs.
I've also read coconut oil can be used in place of olive oil. Those natural oils like that seem to really help skin. And
anything which is going to be like the omega-3 kind of like fatty acid type of things. Honestly, sardines. I mean, you could just, start adding, even if they're on kibble, if you started adding things just like a little oil, olive oil, coconut oil, eggs, and sardines.
Sardines can be really cheap, but really, really good. The wild caught.
And the other thing, too, is if you have a hairbrush, try brushing them at least once a week. That kind of helps get rid of some of the old dryness on their skin, and it will help the skin actually heal a little bit quicker if you're able to do that.
Absolutely. Lynn says, that's very interesting. Great news, Ash. Can't wait to hear more about what all you've done and the results. Being a female is challenging at times.
In the words of Tammy Wynette, sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jonna says, I wash my clothes with vinegar and baking soda. What a difference in softness and brightness. That's interesting.
Well, and plus, I'm sure you're also not putting the chemicals. Because, I mean, what really is in laundry detergent?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is in these things? And it's really interesting when you kind of start to go down that rabbit hole, which I've started to go, and I may be driving my husband crazy. But
no.
Yeah.
I bought her a beef tallow-based balm and a beef tallow-based, chapstick. Both for Christmas.
And I have to say, so in the winter, my lips would get really dry, and I would put on just like, the normal...
She would carry chapstick in her pocket with her everywhere we went, and
I'd
use
put
it all day long every day.
All day long every day. And so Chris bought me this beef tallow chapstick. I literally put it on once a day. I don't even carry it in my pocket anymore. Yep. I mean, it's insane. It's
very
so
cool.
good.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Tina says coconut oil or omega-3 for dry skin on dogs could also be caused by allergies. Correct.
True. Mm-hmm.
So Francine is asking, so while we're waiting, can you tell me how to get my name in color and not show up as gray? Well, Francine, there's a couple of different things. So if you become a member of the channel, you get your name in a different color because it shows up as a member. Or if it's blue, then that means those are the people that are moderators on the channel and they have access to help us in the comments section. So Barry Weems is here. Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Good to see you, Barry.
Yeah.
Jonna says, I give my dog Lily fish oil supplements, eggs, and yogurt.
Oh, she's also a good thing. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Auntie says they lasted a week. Well, okay, so most of them got eaten that day. We took a few and put them in a bag for the fridge. We put a few in a bag in the pantry because we wanted to intentionally see what they were going to do. So it was an intentional don't eat those kind of thing because we wanted to see what would happen.
Oh, there's the thumbs up from like 20 minutes ago.
Hey, there it goes. What do you know?
Yep.
What do you know?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the only reason they lasted that long. So
we had to experiment to make sure, because we knew you guys would probably ask, like, well, how long can you keep these? Or whatever. So we tried to do that work aher of time to be like, can you freeze them? Can you do this? Can you do that? So, and truthfully, they were still good out of the fridge and in the pantry. The only thing is they get they're not as crispy. They were slightly
softer, so I bet if you put those desiccant packets in the bag, it would probably help a lot.
Yep. But they're really good.
Let's see. Auntie says, crispy taco shells. And Maritza wants to know, would Asiago cheese be a good choice for the potato chip recipe? So, maybe. The thing with using different kinds of cheese is you need something that is soft enough to be blended up small in with the cottage cheese, like a paste almost. But you also need it to be as dry as possible so you don't have something like, say, like a fresh mozzarella where it's all squishy and wet. So it's finding that balance. You want it to be as dry as possible while still getting you that kind of melty, stretchy protein. So like someone said Parmesan the other day, they were like, that's super low moisture. Yes, but it's also grainy and it does not melt and turn stretchy. So you need something that's going to be stretchy when melted, but as dry as you can get at the same time. So now, depending on what kind of cheese you use, you're also going to get a different flavor. I use Swiss, and I used one that has very little flavor because you couldn't really taste there was cheese in it. But if you use a stronger flavored cheese, you're going to get a stronger flavor in the chip. So I can't really say what will happen exactly.
But if you try it,
let us know how it goes. Jonna says, oh, great taco for New Year's. Yes. Auntie says, I have a corn tortilla flavoring I use when I make pork rind tortillas. Well, there you go.
There you go. Nice.
Lynn says, your potato chips would never ever last for a week in my house. I'm a professional chip eater. Back in the sad days, a big bag of potato chips would be my entire meal. I'm right there with you.
Me too, Lynn. Me too.
Right there with you. So Donna says, speaking of crispy things, do you have a recipe for truly crispy crackers flavored and plain like saltines? So over the melted cheese crackers. So I have a Cheez-It cracker recipe. If you do my Cheez-It cracker recipe, but you, instead of using cheddar, if you use Swiss, just like I did for the for the potato chip recipe, you will get something very close to a kind of normal cracker flavor. It might be a little bit cheesier than that, but it's going to be much more like that, and they are plenty crispy. Crispy is not an issue. But I actually have an experiment that I'm going to be working on to see if I can't create saltine crackers. I have that in the works. So in the meantime, Ash is dropping in the crackers video for you. But after we get this experiment done, keep an eye on the channel because I might have saltines ready to go for you.
I'll tell you what, I can't say too much, but Chris has so many experiments that he is working on right now, and y'all don't even know what craziness is coming out of our kitchen. It's really exciting. So yeah. I'm excited to see what this new year brings recipe wise.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Carrie says keto chow is wonderful. For some reason, I love using bacon fat for the fat in keto chow. For me, it tastes good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dude, I've never done it with bacon fat, but I can imagine that being great.
Bacon is great. Yep. Let's just say that anything with bacon makes it 10 times better. That's a fact.
It's fantastic. And John says keto chow and salty are must-haves for any PhD. I agree. I think if you're willing to do keto type stuff, like if that's what you're trying to do, and there's nothing in the keto chow that bothers you ingredient wise, I think it's a great addition. Not that you're going to have it Okay. We should be back. So they have to be working on a line or something because this just keeps happening and I'm getting very weird messages from AT&T when it keeps telling us we have a connection issue. So I'm going to rapid fire comments. We're going to get through this really quick. I'm going to talk about what we came to talk about here, and that way you guys don't have to keep watching us disappear. So let me find where we were, and everybody hold on to your seats. Donna says, I said that out loud when Chris said they last. LOL. That's right. Sherry wants to know, I heard Dr. Barry and Nisha say on a live that bag salads were bad. Can you tell me why? Probably because of something they spray on them to try to make them safe to eat. I'm imagining there's some chemical in bag salads. I'm not sure. For us, I buy a whole head of lettuce for Ash when she wants a salad, and I chop it up.
It's usually cheaper, too.
It's cheaper. It's better for you. Tanya says, finally found a fat bomb. I like using Keto Chow. There we go. Lynn says, I've seen people add bacon to their Keto Chow, so using bacon fat doesn't sound weird to me. Sounds good, actually, Carrie. I think it's great. Auntie uses hot Keto Chow each morning using butter, hot coffee, and a little gelatin. Great way to have breakfast coffee combo. Love it. Cranky Carnivore Cutler is here. Says, bag salads are food most often contaminated with harmful bacteria. That's probably true, too, so... John, I've not tried that. I've been stretching the big bag of raspberry cheesecake since I don't have funds for Keto Chow. Someone did send me some flavors, and there wasn't any chocolate. Dave Bott says, I have to find a replacement for A1. Can I add something to melted butter and make a new sauce? So I have a Bermonte butter sauce recipe Ash can add in here. You can flavor it with lots of different things and customize it. So go watch that video, and that would be a really cool way to get some spices and some different things in there that would give you a replacement for your steak. That would be a really good one. Brenda says, my goodness, my cocker loves sardines and olive oil. Won't eat the cheap sardines. Haha.
High in taste.
Smooth Will is here. Hello, lovely people. Even with the proven evidence about carnivore, I can't get my girlfriend to try eating this way. Her thing is things in moderation. I understand. All you can do is love people where they are, and if moderation doesn't work, hopefully she'll come around.
And you're her example, so by you just doing your thing and improving your own health, eventually, over time, that may inspire her, or at least get her really thinking about changing her own lifestyle. We see that all the time.
Andy is here. I'm late, but we'll watch 2 times speed. Good to see Andy. Hey. Auntie says, just hearing that crunch made me happy. Andy says, your waffles are awesome. I bought your waffle iron and it made the difference. I'm so glad. Those are such fantastic waffles. I love those. I made those for my parents when they were here for Christmas.
Delicious.
And they loved them. Let's see. There are the crackers John that Ash added that I believe Donna was asking about.
Yeah.
John says, I used to add sour cream and onion dip to the half bag of potato chips to make a complete meal. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I lived those days too.
We know.
Cranky Carnivore Cutler says, but for taste, seed oils in moderation are no different in effect than motor, transmission, hydraulic, or bar chain oil in moderation. I agree. Seed oil is just nothing good in them for you.
Not good.
That's why I use butter and have things like my butter mayo recipe. Matt says, did someone say bacon?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bacon, where it's at.
Let's see.
All the things where we froze again.
My mom says crazier than hot dogs in a blender.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Margaret Chase says, I gotta go, but wish you well. Chris and Ash, love you, and I'm so glad Mel is feeling better. We love you, Margaret.
Thank you,
Have
Margaret.
a great day.
Bye.
John is gonna go check out the dog food while waiting. There
Sweet.
you go. And Jerry is here fasting in the middle of a forest for 40 days, 54 degrees, 45, 54, whatever, and sunny in Nashville, Tennessee right now. Can't be the weather. Nope. It's not the weather.
It's really nice out.
It's definitely something questionable going on a line somewhere. So Jerry is fantastic. If you guys didn't know, she has a YouTube channel. You should go follow her.
Jerry's the coolest.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
CNC Female wants to know, do you suppose a provolone or baby Swiss would be okay too? We use so much cheddar. Yeah, I think a provolone, provolone might work. Baby Swiss, any of that kind of stuff would probably work. So, Sherry asked a question, but I got to go. I'll watch the replay to see if they answer. Just try another time. Yep. So I think we answered her question. She'll see it when she comes back.
If not, hit us up in another live stream.
Smooth Will says, we thought you guys didn't love us anymore. Nope, we always love you guys.
We love you a lot.
Cheryl wants to know if we have a brisket recipe. So I've made brisket. I haven't done a video on brisket, but maybe we could do that at some point in time.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cranky Carnivore Cutler says, Cheez-Its were my number one weakness. I used to donate blood when working just to get some for free. I could eat both huge bags in the box from Costco. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, this one right here
that was my weakness.
She loves
Big
Cheez-Its.
fan of the Cheez-Its.
She loves Cheez-Its. Donna's here, says, Dr. Berry said there's more salmonella in the bags of salad than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that would make a lot of sense because they have to make that, put it in the bag, and it gets possibly contaminated while they're doing that, packaging it, and then it sits in that bag in a moist and kind of like, contained environment, and then you eat it raw.
Bag salad, if you think about it too, is basically like a convenience, because it's like you can buy all the ingredients, make your own salad, but here's this thing that's a bit more money. It's just convenient.
Yep.
So.
You also get way less for the amount of money you spend when you buy it pre-made in the bag. So
yeah,
it's just something to think about. There's the butter sauce that Ash put up for you guys. Keto babies are spending New Year's Eve with us. My one granddaughter was so excited about the Ninja Creami. I promised her we could have ice cream for breakfast.
That's awesome.
Love it. Keto Chow is great as ice cream too.
Oh yeah. That's fun.
Lynn says, I haven't tried any other cheese for those crackers yet, but I bet any cheese would be good. I haven't met many crackers I don't like. There you go.
There you have it.
Let's see. Hey, friend, will you accept pay? Asking for a friend. I don't actually know what that is, unless you mean PayPal money. I do have a PayPal.
Yeah. Just message us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never heard of PayPay.
Yeah, I'm assuming maybe PayPal. It was probably an autocorrect or something. But yes, we have a PayPal. Yeah, I need to try those waffles. I have a collection of little Dash waffles, 9 I think in total, all different shapes. Love it.
Cute.
Yeah, there you go. John says, I think a Worcestershire sauce butter combo might make a good A1 substitute. Never tried it, but it should be decent. Yeah, that would be I don't know if it would be the same as A1 necessarily, but it would be a great sauce instead of A1, I would think.
Yeah.
So, Auntie wants to know, I finally have both a sous vide stick and got a bucket for Christmas. Do you have a fave recipe you use a sous vide for? So, I use sous vide for a lot of things, but probably my two favorites for you to start out with, because there's a lot of things you can do. My two favorites for you to start out with would be to do a steak, like a sirloin, and do it for at least 12 hours. I know that sounds crazy, but seriously, for 12 hours, pick the temperature based on how you like your steak done. I usually do 130 degrees for us with a sirloin, so 130 degrees for 12 hours. You pull it out, and you throw it in a bowl of ice water for 5 to 10 minutes to chill it down. Then you get a really ripping hot, smoking hot skillet with like lard, bacon grease, beef tallow, whatever you want. And you take the steak out of its bag, you pat it dry with paper towel on both sides, and you sear it real hot on both sides. When you flip it to the second side, you add in a big tablespoon of butter, and while you're searing the second side, you spoon that melted butter over top of the steak. That's fantastic. Also, if you're into chicken breast, I don't eat chicken breast very often, but every now and then for fun we do. Chicken breast at 147 degrees for about 6 hours. Season it however you like. Pull it out, same thing. Ice bath it and then sear it in a skillet real quick. It's the juiciest, most tender chicken breast you'll ever eat.
I'm getting hungry now.
Yep.
Good stuff.
It's fantastic.
Good stuff. You'll love that sous vide though. You'll love it.
Yep. There's Maritza coming through with the butter mayo recipe for us.
Thanks, girl.
And, I forgot, Auntie, if you have questions about sous vide, just message me anytime. I know more about sous vide than you can shake a stick at.
Man's an expert.
Been using it for so long, so. Let's see. Yeah, Jerry says, oops, PayPal. Yes, we do have a PayPal. If you would like, Jerry, just send me an email, and I'll be glad to tell you where the PayPal is.
Yeah, info@chriscookingnashville.com.
That's right. My mom says, plus bag salad tasted like plastic. Anyone else wonder what chemicals are leaching into it? That's correct, because you don't know what they're putting in that bag or how that bag has been sent to you or processed or any of that kind of stuff. So. She says, thank you, will do. Not much for chicken. Yeah, I'm not really either, but when you do it in the sous vide, it is fantastic. So if you're ever in the mood, that's the way to do it. But the steak is a great place to start, and then I got 100 other things I can tell you to do later. So, but start with something simple like the steak. Season it really well, dry brine it the way I do, put it in the bag, sous vide it, and then finish it the way I was talking about. If you have questions, you just let me know.
It's amazing.
And Jerry says, you got it, thanks. Well, cool. So we're caught up on comments. I'm going to talk real quickly about why I said, we've kind of been talking a little bit about it, but why did I say in the title of this, your success is your perspective looking forward? So I released the potato chip video. It has done very well. We're over 30,000 views, and this is only the third day of it being live today.
Right.
That fantastic sort of response also comes with it getting into the feed of people who, quite honestly, shouldn't be allowed to have a YouTube account. And that's fine. It is what it is. But I have been told that I am fat, that this is stupid, that no one should be doing this is a waste of time. I've been told so many insulting things as a result of that video doing well that it just had this on my mind. And we were thinking about what we were going to talk about with you guys anyway, but this really stood out to me. That video is doing very well. I have had an overwhelming majority, very positive comments of people being excited. Mm-hmm. People are loving the fact that this potato chip recipe exists. And I'm not saying you should eat potato chips, the carnivore version, every single day. It's not what that recipe is there for. But it is fun, and it's a new thing you can do with carnivore ingredients if that helps stabilize you on your diet.
Sure.
Or if it encourages someone who would never otherwise consider carnivore to try it. That's a win. That's a huge, huge deal when you can convince someone, hey, maybe you should try this. Maybe this is something you can do. It's a tool. It's an assistance. It's a support. It's a thing that helps you take one step in the direction of what you're doing. So that's what it's there for. Now, if I sit here and I focus on all of these, people who think what I'm doing is stupid, and they tell me I'm fat and I don't look like I'm on a carnivore diet and whatever, because they know nothing about my story and they have no clue who they're even talking to. They're just online being a douche. That's just what people do. So people like that are trash and a waste of time when they choose to behave that way. That it is what it is. But if I sit there and I focus on what they think, and I let that dictate how I feel about what I'm doing, well, that completely Okay, so I hate AT&T. All right, we're going to have a very strong conversation with AT&T after we hop off of the live, but let's see if we can get through this. If you guys are focused on the negative things that are behind you, like people who are saying you're fat and you're this and you're that and all the stuff you haven't done right in the past, you are focusing on everything that's behind you. We are coming into a new year. It is time for us to all focus on everything that is in front of us. So your success is based on your perspective. I could look at that video and see people telling me all of the things that I haven't done right in their estimation, and I could see everything as a failure because I haven't lived up to some expectation. And I could say, oh, I had some of these treats at Christmas and whatever, and I failed and blah, blah, blah. Or in the exact same position, I can look at all of those positive comments and all the people that this is helping. And I can look forward at all of the new things I'm going to be able to do and take on the new year with all of these goals and all of the stuff I'm going to do. And I can have a looking forward at everything I have the opportunity to now do perspective.
Yeah.
So your success is based on your perspective. Are you going to sit and focus on what's behind you? Mm-hmm. Or are you going to sit and focus on what's in front of you? Jelly Roll. Love Jelly Roll. He is just very real. And whether you like his music or not, he comes from a rough background. And he's turned his life around. He's still got his issues. But he really has a cool thing. In one of his songs, he talks about how he takes the rear view mirror off of the car so that he can only see what's in front of him. Mm-hmm. It's like it's a lyric in one of his songs. He's talking about this. And I think what a cool concept that is. To focus not on what's behind you, but what is in front of you. And it's amazing when you really start to think about the opportunity you have to change your life with these things. If you realize your success is based on your perspective of looking at the opportunities you have. So that's what I have to say about that. Do you have anything to offer to any of that before we lose this because of AT&T again?
Yeah, I'll make it quick just in case. But no, I totally agree. I think I would say 99% of your success, whether that be in anything in life, is actually based mentally. Mm-hmm. It's on your perspective and where you put think about this, where you put your time and where you put your energy and where you put your focus is where you're going to succeed. Mm-hmm. So if you start thinking about things that you've done in the past that are bad, that are wrong, if you start thinking about that time you went off the wagon, or you start thinking about things from your childhood or your past, or, oh, I wish I would have done that. I get it. We've all done that. But if you want to actually leave that behind you, and if you want to actually live to your full potential and be the person that you were made to be, and whether you share a belief system or not, be the person that God created you to be, live to full potential and be the best version of yourself, you have to keep that in the past, and you cannot think about that, and you need to start focusing
All right. Once more into the fold.
Bada bing. Anywho, we're just gonna wrap up and say goodbye, because I don't think they want us to live stream today. But
No.
but yeah, basically, just remember that your success is your perspective. Perspective is everything, and that you need to stop worrying about your past and what you've done in the past. You need to worry about your future, and you need to put your time and your energy and all of your efforts into your future, and not be looking back to the past.
Yes.
Because if you keep looking back to the past, then you're never going to move forward.
Yes.
And that is the short version that I will give before AT&T cuts us off again.
Yep, absolutely. And I know it's AT&T because we keep getting a message popping up telling us that we don't have an AT&T connection with the AT&T branding, and we're going to go have a strong conversation with AT&T of what am I paying for if you keep doing this to me. So we're going to figure out what's going on with the internet. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget the taco shells are going to be tomorrow night for the preview. And hey, look, that works now. And then we're going to have the actual taco shell video coming on Saturday to show you guys how to make them. So jump on our live stream tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let us know you're there. Say hello. And get ready for that video Saturday. Don't forget, we have that new private community, which is linked down below in the description for you. We would love for you to join. I also have an ebook that we're going to be announcing more about, a live stream coming Wednesday morning, New Year's Day, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. At 7 a.m. Pacific time. I'm going to be on someone else's channel, but I'm going to stream it to my channel as well. I would love for you guys to tune in because we'll be talking about something very interesting, and a friend of mine is telling his story with the proper human diet for the very first time on his channel, and I'm going to be a part of it because we're working on projects. That ebook is part of that. You can go to my website. You can download that for free. All you got to do is give us your email address to prove you're a real person. You don't have to put in credit card info, even though it looks like it's asking for it. You don't have to put it in. So that is there for you guys. Would love for you to download it, read it, and share it with a friend, and try to send them my way so we can help as many people as possible. Come join the community. We're going to be there for you guys. We love every single one of you. Thank you for being here. This is Chris Cooking Nashville and Ash Taylor. Guys, eat your meat. Love your life. Talk with AT&T strongly if they can't fix your internet. And we will see you guys, if not before, tomorrow night in the live stream.
Absolutely. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Take care.